Hello, YouTube family here on YouTube, and I wanted to talk about. I hope everybody's doing well on this Wednesday. So another day here in the land, we should rejoice and be glad in it. I want to talk about mental manipulation. How do you know when you're being when someone is mentally manipulating you? I'm going to just read a couple of Bible scriptures pertaining to that. For the sake of time, I'm going to be looking down here at my notes too. I'm going to put my notes in front of me. I'm going to start with 1 Thessalonians verse 6. Verse 6, that no one shall take advantage and defraud his brother in this matter, because the Lord is the avenger of all such. We forewarn you, and testified. That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 6. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 6. Alright, and the next scripture is Leviticus 25:17. Leviticus 25:17. Verse 17, they shall not oppress one another, but you shall fear God, for I am the Lord your God. And 2 Corinthians 11:14. We should all know that one. We know that one. But the majority of folks don't know that one. Yeah, I know that's very surprising. And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Okay, I'm going to stop there. We're going to talk about mental manipulation. How people can manipulate. You got a lot of manipulators. There's a lot of them here in the world. I'm going to give 3 important examples of someone that mental manipulates someone. We can start with a murderer. A murderer doesn't exactly mean someone that kills someone. Yes, that's mainly what a murderer is, but it's also spiritually as well too. A murderer is someone, but I'm not going to get into a murderer, but murderers are pretty much mental manipulators. One example would be, I'm just going to use some random names here. This is not for nobody up here to know, or just I'm going to use code names. If Adam was staying with, let's say, Steven, and they were roommates, and Steven has paid his part of the rent, and he's waiting on Adam to come and pay for his part of the rent, or they've talked about their rent. Let's say Adam talked about his rent being a little late this month because he had some misfortune, or he had to get his car fixed, or some other some other misfortunes he's had, and he tells Steve, him and Steve have an agreement, like, okay, when do you think you'll be able to have it? Because it's due by the 5th. Here it is. So Adam, let's say Adam gives Steve half of their, let's say their rent is $1,000, and Adam gives Steve, let's say 500 of it, but he's gonna pay Steve the rest of it. I guess when he get the rest of it, he's got to get the rest of it in order for him to pay the rest of it. That makes sense. And here it is around the 7th of the month, and Adam told Steve that he would have the rest of it. Let's say Adam told Steve that he would have the rest of the rent around the 7th of the month because the way he gets paid. And Steve's like, okay. So Steve comes to Adam around the 6th of the month, wanting the rent, the rest of the $500. And I'm gonna tell you what the problem is in that in a minute. And Steve tells Adam, remember our conversation on the 5th, on the a couple of days ago? Let's say on the 3rd. And Adam tells Steve, listen, I won't have it. I don't owe any. I know I owe the rest of my half of the rent. But remember, I was telling you I won't have it until the 7th. It's only the 6th. So Steve freaks out. Him and Adam gets to arguing. Nothing's resolved that day. I'm gonna stop there. That's it. If someone tells you that they won't have it then and they're keeping their word, more than likely they're gonna have it then. Don't ask them beforehand. Don't you owe me something? That says Adam has a demon. Adam has a demon because Adam doesn't comprehend very well. And Adam is obsessed with Steve. Is too obsessed more. He cares more about Steve's money than Steve himself. I get it. They were roommates. But what's conflicting and was questionable is he sat right there and told him on the 3rd that he wouldn't have it until the 7th because of the way he got paid. And Adam is kind of trying to expedite things to happen. Adam gets with a couple of his relatives and he starts talking about Steve, and he starts lying, and a lot of manipulation comes from lying mostly. And then Adam goes to his family and start crying and all of that. I don't know why Adam is crying. I don't even know why Adam is talking about slandering Steve in that way, because he should know that he knew that Steve wouldn't have it until it was time. He knew that it was going to be late, and he knew he was already paid half of the money. So I don't really get what's the whole conflict. So it just sounds like Adam is making a mountain out of a molehill. Adam wants the money when Adam wants it, and Adam loves money. A manipulator loves money. So if you acquire someone that loves money, if you're acquiring someone that they're used to getting over on others or mistreating others, and they've encountered someone that they can't do those practices with, that's a sign that you got a mental manipulator, because they're going to go talk to other people. They're freaking out. They're putting on a pity party. This, that, etc. No manipulation works with me, because I'm able to see that. I'm able not only see that, but if you just listen to the way a person tells the story, look through their eyes, and just listen to what they're not saying, but listen to them speak, you can tell something's wrong. So that's an example. One thing about mental manipulators too, they can be murderers a real hateful person, a real lying person, just meaner than a snake, a real lying person, a person that just doesn't tell the truth. They know the truth but won't tell the truth, and then they accept wrong for right instead of wrong. That's an example too of a murderer, but they can also be mental manipulators. It can also be a slanderer that causes problems. Instead of going to the person directly and talking to them, instead of talking to the person directly, they're going to go talk about the person to someone else. And then when the person that they've talked about comes and confront them, they try to play victim. Or to say something like, well, I'm healed and I'm healed, and by, I guess using the scripture, by the stripes I'm healed. No, you're not healed if you can't heal nobody else. You're not healed if you're not healed yourself. So you can't heal nobody else. It's just the same like if somebody's lost or you're trying to help them. You can't help them if you lost. You can't heal somebody if you're not healed. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's examples too that you have a mental manipulator. Mental manipulators are gaslighting. Mental manipulators are toxic. And mental manipulators, they lie. They lie. They lie for the come up. They know they're lying and they lying anyway. That's them key points that you're dealing with a mental manipulator. And if you are dealing with a mental manipulator, you need to get far from them. You need to cut them off where they stand, because they're only going to do more harm to you than good. They're gaslighting. They lie. They don't have their facts in order. They don't have their story straight most of the time, and then they just need someone to lie to you about and slander you. Mental manipulators do that. You confront them and they try to play the victim. They're playing the victim. Stay far from mental manipulators, because that's something of Satan. That is something of Satan. You should fear God and no other person. And one thing about Satan, well, he'll be in the lake of fire at the second coming. At the second coming, along with the demons here in the world. And they also work through people. So just be a thorough discerner and stay away from those who are mental manipulators. Mental manipulators ain't really no different from a murderer or a liar. They lie, they manipulate, they do extreme exaggerations when it's not even necessary. It's not even necessary. And they're complainers and evil. So keep that in mind. Okay, the scriptures for that I'm going to list in the description box below as well. Do have a great day, people. Have a prosperous day. Be blessed. And again, stay far from people who are gaslighters and mental manipulators. And people that tell other people to lie. Never to let nobody tell you to lie. Tell you to lie as well either. Or lie to them. No. You want to tell them the truth. Even if it hurt them. It's better to tell someone the truth. It may hurt for a moment, but it's only going to hurt for that moment in particular time. Than to murder them and tell them to lie. So never lie to them. So let's keep that in mind too. Be blessed. Shalom. Have a prosperous, blessed Wednesday.